Good morning. So I have so much coming through today and so many connections that have been made like in the last couple days specifically. But I'm gonna break it apart like I normally do because this information runs so fast through my mind and I can't write things down to really keep track of them in that way because I can't read writing on paper. If it can't be read to me, it's just not happening because that's how blind I am. But there's a lot happening right now. Part of me doesn't even know where to start. um, but quite honestly, I'm going to talk about what the 0 point means to me, I guess. And something that I've slowly learned to integrate into my life. And kind of at one point didn't really have much of a choice, but I realized the purpose in that stillness and learning about Ho'oponopono and learning to see everything as my reflection, although as I've mentioned, I wasn't fully understanding the truth of my reflection up until a couple days ago. And when you're in this kind of realm where I'm at, wherever that might be, things connect really fast. And my body yesterday went through like massive purging, and yesterday I was in excruciating pain. In fact, I even went to the hospital. And there was nothing wrong, of course. And it was just energy passing, and I knew that consciously, but I have titanium in my neck and I don't mess around, so I'd like to go get it checked. I'm gonna take a salt bath to purge that radiation right after this video, and then we'll flow with some more videos after that. It's taken a long time to get out of my own way. And what happens when you're at the 0 point and when every thought that comes into your mind, including the divine ones that you feel are purpose-driven, but you understand at such a degree that the programming is so deep, until you get all of those thoughts, those doubtful thoughts that say you have to be doing something, and just any thought, even the divine ones, it's said that like as you're getting the flow of walking in this living prayer like I do, you're saying I love you and thank you to everything you see, and you're seeing it for what it truly is at its core. And it's telling you what aspect of you it's asking for balance in, and you keep just sending it to the light. You send it, like you make peace with it. You give it love and gratitude and repentance if you feel like, you need to change your ways in some way, or, at least give an I'm sorry and please forgive me because I really didn't know. It depends on how deep the loop is. But it's about like revisiting all of those places and being still enough to do so, because it's impossible if you're busy doing. If your masculine is like totally taking charge and that's how I started this, okay? I started in an overpowered masculine, toxic masculinity that didn't allow me to feel, didn't allow me to think, didn't allow me to sit down and use my blindness as an excuse to be lazy and find out who I was as the shaman sitting in the dirt, as white buffalo woman, as Christ, as Isis, as Christ, as a Lemurian, as a mermaid, as, like all of the things happened because I said, I love you, thank you to all distortions. And the things that ended up left were the truth of the pathways in which I've walked into getting to this one place where I'm living in a state of nothingness. I know I have proven over and over again by being able to come into peace with my overbearing masculine that says I have to do something for this reason, that reason, or another. I don't care how logical it sounds. Fear is disguised as practicality in a great deal of ways. And because I know my masculine so well, and I have tamed him as best as I can and allowed him to do what he was supposed to do, I am able to identify what's going on, and when that energy is trying to pull me a little more strongly in that direction. And because I've, unintentionally, just by saying I love you and thank you, not to like that aspect, I'm not taking it so deep like, oh, this happened and that's my masculine, now let me say I love you and thank you to my masculine energy. No, it's not like that. It's just like every life situation, I'm like, I love you and I thank you. I don't know what you're trying to tell me, but I'm grateful. And then sooner or later you start realizing that everything is trying to integrate into one another. And quite honestly, the biggest thing I've figured out, mind you, I hope I don't get lost because I'm going in another direction, but the inner child The inner child is the thing that's connected to the void, to the everything that is everything, to every thought, memory, and lifetime lived on this earth. And it was created, you know, all of that was created during our, what do you call it? Like from birth to 8, you know, from actually conception to 8. And mind you, we came in with stuff, but yeah, we're being programmed because we're born in the 0 point, and everything we observe from the outside is everything but that, really, in these days, because, you know, a lot of us aren't, you know, teaching our children to live in that place. But the inner child, if you have too much trauma in this lifetime, like I did, doesn't trust the world to come out and create and play and feel free enough to do anything, and allow divinity to flow through it. Because I make it a point to not have specific goals. I have things that are happening, but I refuse to control them and dictate what they are. If the child feels safe enough to come out and play and go into that endeavor, because the masculine within me is not being too dominant, the feminine's not being too sensitive, the shadows not being too vindictive or critiquing or judgmental on myself, creating thoughts that don't even exist to try and keep me from doing something. My higher self isn't so busy sitting in the dirt and soaking up the light and breathing it in that she can't, you know, apply itself to everything. I mean, this even goes to relational stuff, because the inner child also needs to realize you're not going to bring people into your world that are going to step over your boundaries and try and deplete your system and make the child feel unsafe in their atmosphere. They're not going to do that. So it takes a balanced feminine to be able to address and find out if she's inviting in the proper energies that will aid in her growth. And sometimes there is even energies that will aid in your growth and then, you know, kind of feel like they're pulling some of your energy, but that's great if it's inevitably aiding in your growth. But the whole point is, you know, like, I'm still in observation of that. I'm sure you can hear the question in my tone, but there's a lot of aspects that are learning to live cohesively. They all 5 of them, millions of them actually, but all 5 of the ones that dwell within this temple and are operating what this meat suit decides to do are having to work together. And when they do, things just unfold. Divinity guides me over to my computer to put a little thing here, put a little thing there. And it's not by me forcing anything. It's doing it because I want to and because it's fun. And then if I paint, that's when the child feels safe to come out and be creative. And if that happens, it's because, you know, it just flowed into that from the 0 point. And then you start really putting together that that's how we accomplish everything, by doing nothing. I sit, I do anything that I'm called to do that makes me feel good inside. I am at ease and balanced within all of my centers. And because of that, I manifest everything that I should be doing at my divine level, and it unfolds so beautifully, one petal at a time. Well, no, sometimes several petals at a time. And that's intense when that happens. I am so thirsty. So I'm gonna end this video and then drink before I take my salt bath and dehydrate myself a little. But I love you guys. I love this unfoldment. I am the unfoldment. I love you guys so much. Just can't even say that enough. Have a great day.